Hello everyone, welcome to At a Glance for Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U. It came out a couple months ago. I just got around to playing it. I've actually completed it. It took me about 9.5 hours, and I loved every second of it, to be honest with you. It only took about 4 or 5 sittings for me to get through. It's one of those games you just can't stop playing. But I'm about to load up a particular chapter that I think is really good, really representative of what this game's all about. A vertical slice, if you will, or if you hate that term, I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me. But I'm going to choose chapter 4 as one that just shows off a lot of the great parts of the game. And take a look at the shop first. I haven't spent too much money on more of the kind of crazy things in the shop. One of the big things is that they have costumes that you can buy for Nintendo characters. And, well, I'll show you a little bit later. That's Rodin? Rodan? Rodin? Yeah, him. He's from the first game. He's your shopkeep. He'll also give you new weapons. These alts are weapons that you buy, and you can put them on both your hands and your feet. So you can have, swords on your hands, swords on your feet. But I never thought that was very necessary. These are all the accessories in the game. I have 2 equipped right now. Some of them are pretty helpful. This one's very interesting. This one can actually regenerate your orbs that you use for your power-ups, for being very powerful later on. These are just lollipops. These increase health, attack, stuff like that. These are all the moves. I've bought them all, but you can try these out if you can't afford them yet. You can try any of the accessories out too, which I think is really cool. Go into like a practice mode, and you can try them out. Now these are all the costumes. There are a ton of costumes. The way I understand it, you have to buy these mirrors first, and that will unlock all the costumes. I might as well get started, so I'm gonna buy one of them. I'm not sure if it's the Nintendo one. No, that might be a different one. Well, I chose wrong. Damn it. Those are all extras. They're all just cosmetics. Except for the Nintendo ones, those actually do have new functions. Like in the Samus one, you can actually use her blaster. You can roll up in a morphing ball, which is super cool. I've seen videos of it, but never done it myself. Okay, besides all that shop stuff, kind of boring. Let's go into the mission. So this is 4th mission in, pretty early. Now this right here, I love interactive loading screens. This lets you test out whatever moves you want. You can just go crazy. There's a list of the moves on the side. You can try them out. You can just kind of mess around with whatever you want. But the combat is so fun. Like, you want to interact with all these screens and just do crazy stuff. It just looks so cool. So, okay. The thing about Bayonetta is there is a story. That is not important. And it's there, it, I guess, moves things along. And it can be fairly juvenile. And that kid right there, he's got the soap opera thing where he has amnesia, of course. But he's kind of annoying, and the guy with the dumb hat's just this journalist who's like in love with Bayonetta, who's trying to figure out why the angels and demons are fighting. Again, it's not very important, really. So I'm starting out the mission, top of these rooftops. There are various ways you can move around. Got these wings that'll help you glide to locations. I just turned into a cat, and you can run really fast. Turn into a bird. You can get to certain things you couldn't otherwise normally reach. And I'm about to die. Yep, that's embarrassing. But yeah, you have those basically 4 ways to run around normally, as a dog, as a bird, and have the glide just to help you traverse. These little, kind of like treasure chests, they contain, this one just contained a lollipop, which I could use to restore my health. But they sometimes include pieces of heart, pieces of orbs, just to increase your orb level and your maximum life, as it were. So this is an angel, believe it or not, those not familiar with the series. Fidelity. It shows you just what's like height in their hierarchy, like where they are. You can also look in the inventory for your descriptions if you really cared that much. Well, this is what the game is all about. It's the combat. Fast, frenetic, awesome combat. So I don't know if you noticed before, but things ever turned kind of purple, and I went into what's called witch mode, or witch time. It's like a slow-mo, just to take advantage of your enemies, and that you need to do that to be successful in this game. And it ranks you, damage, time. And so I got a gold, not bad. It goes up to pure platinum is the highest, and there's platinum, and please let me, oh good, I got it. There's gold, silver, and then there's stone, I believe, no, sorry, silver, bronze, stone, that's the lowest. So this is actually an extra encounter I didn't really need to do. It was just off the beaten path, but I chose to do it just because the combat's just tons and tons of fun. So as of right now, I got chainsaws on my legs, chainsaws on my arms, swords on my legs, and one weapon set. And I just went into like a power-up state where I, whoop those guys' butts. And weapon sets, sorry. I have the chainsaws on my hands right now, swords on legs. My next set, I have whips on my arms, and then swords on my feet. There we go. So I'm going to change it up a bit just to show off a couple of different ones. There's a 3-bladed scythe, and I'll just put the guns on my feet. I'll switch this one up. I'll go opposites. I'll go swords on hands, and then whips on the feet. Besides the scythe, all my options that I have are very fast. They're not exactly the hardest hitting, but they do tons of hits, and they're just really fast. And the whips are especially great for crowd control scenarios. The scythe is very much damage first. You can still do a sweeping motion and get a lot of enemies, but I've always just been a fan of the faster, like swords and the whip. It's all about preference. You never have to use any particular weapon in a particular scenario. It's always up to you. So we're going to go on the side of a building. At least I think we're on the side of... Yeah. Just another encounter. Another reason why I chose the whips is that these small flying enemies can get super annoying, and the whips can just tear around people and just kill the small ones very easily. Now the big guy, he's got a shield in front of him. You have to use witch time, but dodging at a precise moment. You can daze him, or you can do this. Small mini game, throw him into that, and kill him. All those attacks, your powered up state, and that little quick time animation, use those purple orbs underneath your health. So I picked up his shield, actually. It's on my back now. That can happen sometimes. Ooh, a pure platinum. That can happen sometimes where an enemy drops the weapon it was using. You get obviously a smaller version of that. Another small little platforming collecting segment right here. These are not my favorite parts of the game, but they're necessary to, I guess, mix things up if they felt like they needed to. But this one's super easy. You just collect these 5 little fragments. They give you a minute, and I do it in, 13 seconds. They get a lot more difficult. The ones near the end of the game are pretty tough, but they give you, like before, pieces of heart, like I said before, or those orbs to increase those two stats. Once you've already done it, like I have, they give you a lollipop. It's gonna be a purple one. Believe that helps with your orbs, though I'm not totally sure, because actually I went through the entire game not using any lollipops except green ones for health. I can't claim that I'm amazing at this game. I still take damage even though I've beaten the game and gone through the final boss. It still can be difficult. I haven't totally got the timing down. And the way they do the witch time, so you can work on your timing, is their usual very big cues for the enemies. And what I mean by that is that sometimes the enemy flashes, or he makes a big dramatic gesture before he attacks. Like in this case, the guy, just winding up his arms, or the things on his arms flash when they're about to hit you. And And some people might say that might be a little cheap, but I think it's necessary, just because if they didn't have that in there, it would be very, very tough, and it would just be kind of unforgiving. And frankly, I'm not that good, so I really appreciate it. And with these enemies, it, unlike most encounters in the game, where it would take probably 15 to 20 seconds, if if you're pretty fast, even if you aren't very fast, it would take you like 30 seconds. These take a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I wouldn't classify this as a boss fight, more like a mid-boss, something to test your mettle. And later on in the game, these become almost regular enemies in some scenarios. But here we go. This is where Bayonetta turns her clothes, which are also her hair, into a demon, which eats this angel. Yeah, this is one of the many reasons why I love this game. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I love it. So, I'm going to take his giant fists. They obviously need to scale down for me to... Actually, you know what? In this game, they don't have to scale down. I'll use the gigantic ones. I think it would totally fit just how this game feels. And I do have a habit of going through and getting every possible halo or crafting material. You can see right there, those red things. It's a crafting material. You can craft healing items, attack increase items. There's a shield one. I think it's yellow. And purple, I think, is something with your orbs. Yeah, that character is just really annoying. I'm sorry. He's amnesia, and he's a kid. I'm not a kid. It just gets on your nerves. Sorry, but I would say just go through it once, just to experience it as is, and then probably never experience it again. I think you'd be okay. So yeah, this is me doing the Umbran Climax mode, which is your power-up state to attack these enemies. Your attacks just have super long reach, and they're a lot more powerful, and they will stun enemies a lot easier. As you can see, I just got that pure platinum, so the highest ranking possible. Yeah, those are, I believe you can get a couple uses out of the particular enemy weapons that I have. I think the most is probably like 4 or 5. There's a really cool one that's actually, it's a bow that's shaped like a harp. And it's a little slow, but it does a lot of damage. They pop up a couple times per level. They're not terribly common. So again, with these guys, well, I should probably be using the... Where is it? There we go. The whips. Very effective, just because you can swing them around, and these guys are very quick, and just take them out really easily. You have pistols, but it's just better because it can go through multiple enemies instead of just the one with your pistols, which I gotta say are kind of useless in this game when compared to all the other weapons you get. But again, it's all up to you. You can choose whatever weapons. I suggest try them all. Here, those two humans were in love, and I smashed their bench because I hate love. I'm Bayonetta, I guess. As you notice there, when I perfectly dodge, I have this technique where it'll allow me to turn into a bunch of bats and move like swiftly around the enemy to just more effectively attack them. And the torture attacks. These all use up your orbs again, but they're fun and they're just crazy and just stupid violent. It's over the top, just like everything else in this game. And you see up in the upper right, I got a bewitchment, which is basically the in-game equivalent of achievements, since Nintendo doesn't have a unified achievement system to other games. I'm trying to make short work of this guy. Is when he's stunned, you can really do a significant amount of damage. And ta-da! Yeah, another thing, it's how you clear the invisible walls, is you blow kisses on them. You shoot heart-shaped bullets, or a heart amount, like there's like 6 or 7 bullets in a heart shape, and that's how you get through things. It's great. Oh man, I just can't say enough about how crazy this game can absolutely become. Oh my god, the kid has dreads. That's crazy. So this guy right here, the guy in the white, is a Lumen Sage. There are two kind of groups that were fighting, like you, which is an Umbra Witch, and him, which is a Lumen Sage. Again, this is part of the story that you can or cannot go and find out about. Again, I don't think you need to, but he's basically well, maybe not the main antagonist, but he's one of the big antagonists of the game. And this encounter is definitely one of the harder ones because the guy is super quick. He can dodge as well as you can, and he's very powerful attacks. So you got to always be on your toes. And I'm kind of still in this state where I'm spamming the dodge button to get the witch time. Again, I'm not that good trying, but it may be a while. And he has multiple health bars. You can see it's blue right now, and there's green underneath that, and there's yellow underneath that. So this will definitely take a lot longer than any other encounter in the game, just in the sheer amount of health the guy has. And you can get away with spamming buttons and spamming the dodge button like I did for this kind of fights. And once you're not used to it, it does reward variety in your attacks. You get more points that way, and you could end up stunning enemies easier. But oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting the amazing Godzilla-esque battle that's going to happen right now between our two, I guess, pets, as it were, or summons. I guess to use a Final Fantasy term. But yeah, so sometimes these boss encounters, when you have multiple health bars, they occur in tiers. So the one time was in the little plaza, now it's on a floating piece of that plaza in lava with Godzilla monsters in the background. And this is actually the reason why I selected this particular stage, was just how it escalates like absolute crazy near the end. You will see it in a minute or two. Yeah, I'm just trying to dodge as much as I possibly can. I probably could have selected a little harder hitting weapon, maybe the saws. My hands would have been better, but look! He just speared my monster in the face while he bit his angel friend. And now here's... I learned her name was Madame Butterfly, or Madame Butterfly. And he summons another one, and they're going to kung fu fight in the sky. Well, we kung fu fight in the sky. I just can't express how amazing this game is. It's just escalation of absolute absurdity in the best way possible. This is kind of glee that I would find when I would watch Commando for the first time or something. It was just... This is actually a thing. I'm so glad this is a thing. And one of the things actually I haven't mentioned was just the value of this whole thing, because you get this game, which is very replayable. You can play it for 30, 40 hours, beating it several times, and you get the original Bayonetta 2. Sorry, as well. I don't want to be confusing anybody. You can get both those games in the same package for $60. That is crazy. You can spend 60, 70 hours in both games. Easy. And you'll have a blast the entire time. I guarantee it. It's so much fun how so crazy things are. I think in the opening cutscene there's a fighter jet and it crashes into a toy store and you're flying on the jet, another jet. It's just... Oh, I love it. Sorry, I'm gushing, I know. So, just normal stuff happen here. Just angels fighting demons in the sky. Now this is a part of the battle that I really enjoy, when it just turns into Punch-Out. Because why not? I'm not even paying attention to blocking right now. I'm kind of like regular Punch-Out. I'm just kind of pummeling the dude. And this is how the battle ends. This is the last stage. You get the requisite QTE at the end. I just kicked your spear. What up? So that is actually the end of this mission. So Bayonetta 2, Wii U, get it. It's worth a Wii U, no joke. It is so much fun. I can't recommend it enough. See if I'll put up some more videos a little later on. In the meantime, do yourself a favor and get Bayonetta 2. Amazing game. Thanks so much, and ooh, I did better. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.